Mario Kart 8. 8 Mario Kart games, that's a lot. Their latest installment in the series is for Wii U, and boy was a lot riding on this. They expected it to be a system seller, and it worked somewhat. With sales of the console rising, nearly half of Wii U owners have the game. However, Nintendo is still far below the sales of the PS4 and Xbox One. But after all this, how was the game? Most have made up their own minds. But in case you are still not sure whether it's worth it to get a Wii U, or you're looking for something to complement Smash Bros., here's my take on Nintendo's very originally titled Mario Kart 8. Keep in mind that this is all pre-DLC. I may save a review of DLC for another time. Two of the first things you'll be aware of booting up the game are gorgeous visuals and stellar sound. Starting with the sound, dear lord, almost every Mario soundtrack produced as of late, looking at you, New Super Mario Bros. U, has been absolutely amazing, and this game is no exception. It seems to have a very jazzy sound to it that I love about the orchestrated soundtracks of today's games. You'll love pretty much every track on every track. Heck, even the menu music you can jam out to. Some of my favorites include Dolphin Shoals, Sweet Sweet Canyon, Cloud Top Cruise, and Bowser's Castle. That's only the new tracks. The retro Mario tracks have all been reorchestrated and redone fantastically. They go along quite well with each course. Of course, racing funds. Next up, we've got the visuals, with everything being in a suitable 720p and expected 60 frames per second, as it is a racing game. But once again, dear lord, the graphics most certainly are beautiful, taking possibly the fullest advantage of the Wii U hardware that we've seen so far as of the release of the game. Nintendo takes full advantage of the high-definition bloom that they've thrown into so many games as of late, making everything look much more stunning. Comparing it to the previous home installment, Mario Kart Wii, the tracks have become much more detailed and overall less dull. It's a pleasure to look at the game rather than just looking at it because it's simply there. Finally, we're going to move to the bulk of the game and the reason everyone bought it, the gameplay. Namely, straight up racing, whether it be 3-starring all of the Grand Prix or rising in online by racking up VR points. This iteration of the series has a new character roster, adding all of the Koopalings as well as some random characters like Pink Gold Peach? I suppose it doesn't matter too much, but it just seems lazy on Nintendo's part. Like Mario Kart 7, you're also able to use a different combination of karts, bikes, wheels, and gliders to suit your liking. Not much else to say other than, well, it works well. You can use what you want and find your favorite combination through racing on courses, of course. Unsurprisingly, they have 16 new and 16 retro stages, and for the most part, they are fantastic. As I've said before, they're fun to listen to and to look at, but most importantly, they're fun to race on. There's a wide variety of themes that we've seen throughout the Mario universe, as seen in Sunshine Airport or Twisted Mansion, but there's also a healthy amount of completely original stages. Of the retro tracks, there's 4 for N64, 3 for DS, 3 for 3DS, 2 for GameCube, 2 for Wii, 1 for the Super Nintendo, and 1 for the Game Boy Advance. I like seeing the 3DS and DS love, but I felt that there also should have been 1 or 2 more Super Nintendo or Game Boy Advance courses. All of the retro courses look new and beautiful in Mario Kart 8, even the ones that made the transition from Wii. Now, one of the biggest lures to buy the game was the new items, and they're pretty great for the most part. The Piranha Plant is probably my favorite, giving you a boost for each bite it takes and hindering those bit. The Boomerang Flower can be strategically pretty good, hitting players and having it come back at you. However, I never really found it that much fun or enjoyable. Technically, another new item was the Crazy 8, which gives you, shockingly, 8 returning items to use. Probably the most publicized and well-known new item was the Super Horn, sending a shockwave of sound to destroy items around you, like the once almighty blue shell, or just players nearby. It's fun to use if you really do have it when a blue shell comes at you, but it's very rare and most likely will be used against other racers or red shells. Speaking of red shells, most of the old items return, such as green shells, bananas, mushrooms, and even the coin, which hasn't appeared since the original Super Mario Kart. Not returning is the stupid fake item box, luckily. Now that it's all been said, how does the game actually play? Quite well, in fact. The real defining aspect of this installment of the series is gravity, which allows you to go upside down and sideways without really screwing up the fluency of racing. It also allows you to gain boosts by knocking into players or specific obstacles, creating an interesting and fun new aspect to the game. Overall, I really like it, giving the game more than just, it has new courses and items to its name. The game also tweaks a lot of things from previous games. First, it makes bikes more similar to karts, removing wheelies and making boosting the same as karts. It also changes how you collect items, as if you already have out, say, a green shell, you can't collect another item until you get rid of the green shell, unlike previous games in the series. Lakitu will now return you to the track after falling off much quicker than before as well. None of these are really huge game changers, but they really just add for better balancing and different strategy. Now I'll move on to my least favorite aspects of the game. One is something you might not notice at first, but probably will later, and that's item balancing. A lot of times I'd feel as though the item I got for being in the place I was didn't really seem fair, like triple mushrooms in 3rd place or a green shell in 8th place. There really isn't an excuse for this, and I don't feel like it's just luck since it's happening consistently over my 50 plus hours of gameplay. It's not a deal breaker, but just a nuisance at times. My other greatest liking is in the battle mode, which seems to just be a lazy afterthought. Nintendo basically chose the courses made for racing laps that they best thought for battle and used them, instead of having one specifically for battle. The other modes, like time trials and Grand Prix, work well, possibly even better than previous installments. Grand Prix makes it so if you get a trophy and a cup, it transfers to all the lower speed cups too, so you don't have to go through the painfully slow 50cc or 100cc. Now what really gives this game replay value beyond unlocking all the characters and vehicle parts by collecting coins is the online mode. It's similar and also improved from previous versions, allowing for tournaments and racing against who you want. It's somewhat a shame that there's no real voice chat implemented, but then again, if there's a screaming kid and you're racing, it'd be a little difficult to mute them in the heart of the moment. After each race, you'll either lose or gain racing or battle points, something you can always check in your stats. It can be a little iffy racing, as I did disconnect several times for no reason, but overall, it works pretty well. Some interesting new Wii U and sharing things we've got are stamps, Mario Kart TV, and the gamepad. Stamps function like in other Wii U games, and you get one for each character you want a Grand Prix as, and you get one for each staff goats you beat in time trials. Mario Kart TV allows for sharing clips to Miiverse or YouTube and watching highlights. It's not something you'll probably use a lot, but it's still fun to mess around with or show others. The gamepad is also basically there as it is in mobile versions, used for seeing the map of the track as well as everyone's items. Off TV play too, of course. Just had to get that in there one last time. So, after all that, and everyone else's opinion of the game, you can probably comprehend my stance on it. I think it's one of the best in the series, having a blend of refined gameplay and new things added, great visuals, and stellar music. It's hindered only somewhat by poor item balance and a lazy battle mode, but overall the game was what you were probably expecting it to be. With DLC on the way, and some already here, even more content is coming to the game, with this seeming to be a situation of the more the merrier. I give Mario Kart 8 a solid 9 out of 10, and a recommendation to buy it if you own a Wii U, and to buy a Wii U if you love the Mario Kart series. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching my first review I ever finished, after a long period of lazy time, I got done. I'm gonna call this my first better late than never review since the game's been out for a while, and yeah. Remember, if you like that video, press the like button, favorite it, share it, comment, suggest stuff I should do all that stuff if you want. I'm not telling you to, I'm just saying it would help me out a lot, because it does. So, tell everyone you know about this. If you like it, if you hate it, still tell them. Or don't, I don't care. Actually, I care a lot. Just, thank you for watching. Click something. I might have something clickable here. I don't know. Who knows? Thanks.